what I think is really important is that we can't see the Arab contribution as just being, they weren't just translators. I mean, they made the most important contribution. And people so one of my things is Al-Khwarizmi, who's just this amazing mathematician. That's where we get the word algorithm from. He basically wrote the first proper book about algebra. He was a total legend. He should be up there with Newton, and we should all know his name. Every child in this country should know his name and know what he did. And I think that's really sad. I think that we need to just have a slightly broader appreciation. And as I said at the beginning, when I did history at school, I didn't learn about any of this stuff. I didn't, maybe that was just bad luck and I didn't choose the right courses at uni or whatever, but I didn't learn about the Arabic contribution to science. And to go back to the thing of not being discriminatory and just less, everything, it's always better if it's a kind of common, shared enterprise.
Definitely. And I don't think you're unique in the fact that you weren't taught it. I mean, I think that's the whole point, perhaps, of your book is you weren't taught it, but you feel like everyone should know.
Yeah, and my kids, they do history at school. All they seem to learn about is the Second World War, and I don't get it. Why do we focus so much? I mean, obviously, it's a very important period in history, and we should all learn about it. But I feel that in this country, there's way too much emphasis on war, basically. And you look at the bestseller lists, all those books about battles endlessly, they're the ones that they seem to be the bestsellers. But I'm hopeful that, as more women are involved in history, I just think cultural and intellectual history is so much more valuable and interesting. But that's obviously my personal little soapbox that I stand on and shout about a lot.
No, it's important. It's important, Violet. I think perhaps it's some level of recency bias, but I also do believe that it is, earlier you said it was some sort of colonial attitude. And I definitely do think it's that. I mean, recently we had Kehinde Andrews, who wrote a book on the Age of Empire, and we had him on the podcast. And he was talking about this, about how war is seen as something, it's very much between the oppressor and the oppressed. So I don't know whether that stems into the historical field as well.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems to be a common thread.
Thank you for watching this video. To listen to the full podcast, click the link in the description below.